welcome to episode 6 of the Dailydose Podcast. Hope you guys are doing well out there today. And let's just get straight into this episode. Let's just not do a long intro anymore. Let's just go right. Episode 6, here we go. Hope you enjoy.
Oh, the funk soul brother.
Right about now.
You need to leave that bit in.
Yeah. Right about now. The funk soul
brother. Check it out now.
Yes.
It's the funk soul brother.
As you can hear, the man that is screaming down my ears, screaming a song. He is a good close friend of mine. Worked together for 3 years on just on a little band called Hometown. Like probably nobody knows who they are now. I'd consider him a great friend. He's doing his own solo thing. He's blowing up. His songs are absolutely amazing. He's got so many streams. I think he's over 1 million streams on Spotify and so many streams on YouTube and stuff. He is absolutely killing the solo game. It is the one, the only, the beautiful God man that is Josh Gray. Welcome, Josh. How are things?
Up, man, it's been a while since I've seen that bedroom.
Whoa, keep it PG. That's a very strange way to start. Jeez, yes, you're all in my house for a week before we supported Shane Filan down in the Marquee in Cork, and we had there was 6 lads. My family,
6 lads, and your mom was doing the cooking for us.
My mom was doing the cooking every 5 seconds, and that was the time my cat broke his leg. Remember, and the cage was in the kitchen, and he had a broken leg, and there was cat wee and cat poo going everywhere, and there was 6 of us, and my younger brother, and my mom, my dad, and then all my family coming out, being like, "Let's meet the lads," and we were all like, "What? We need to practice." What a crazy time, man! Genie,
man, it's mad. It's mad thinking back, like how young we were at the time.
You were only like,
I think I was only 17.
I think you were 16 because I was chatting to Brendan, and Brendan was 17, and you're younger than him. So I think you were only 16. 16, Jesus, 16 getting into a band like that, So and I said on chatting to Brendan and stuff that Brendan never did his leaving cert, and you're the same. Like you left school after the junior cert. Do you know what I mean? Not a lot of people know that.
I think I was like the year ahead of school in Bren, but Bren was older than me, if that makes sense.
Yes.
I think wasn't it Bren got held back when he was like quite young or something in school?
Oh, gee, could have. I actually don't know. I look into that.
I can't remember, so don't quote me on that. Whoever's listening to this now. But I remember that I was always younger than Brendan, but ahead of him in school. But that happened. I left when I remember leaving. I'd only done the junior cert. I think I did TY, and then that was it then, and that was just straight into the deep end. It was a bit mad.
That's it. Because as well, like what people mightn't know, and you're probably going to be raging, I'm going to say this, but the band was actually picked as a 5, and you actually didn't make that 5.
I didn't get in at first, which was quite at the time my life felt like it was over, which was quite funny because that was such a long process of just whatever else. You've got like both of us out, like, we didn't know Louis on a personal basis, so we knew Louis back in the day as this kind of big pop mogul or whatever, and he was God walking around the place, so it was I remember him telling me I was too young, and then I remember going back to school, and I remember seeing you guys kind of doing your thing in your first like newspaper releases of 5-piece, and I was like, delighted for you, but like at the same time, like a little bit like
gutted, like
naturally disheartened, but it was kind of funny. And then I kind of just, went on with it, went back to school. So right now I got to figure out what I'm going to do. And then, like that, I was only getting ready, and I only got back settled into it again. And then lo and behold, my phone rings, and it's Louis. And I was just like, so weird. And then a couple of weeks later, I was in the band.
Yeah, because I remember, we were 5, and then it got changed around, and I remember the WhatsApp group got added to just 6 of us, and I was like, ran downstairs to my mom. I was like, "Mom, look, there's 6 of us in a band. Like, what is going on? It's not going to work. What is going on?" But lo and behold, it worked. We got good 3 years out of it.
Oh yeah, we got some nice stories out of it as well.
And obviously, Hometown wouldn't have been the same without you. If we were just a 5 without you, it wouldn't have been the same. So we needed you. We needed young Joshua.
He just needed my young blood. No, he just had to say that.
That's it. No, we needed the young blood, and we needed the blonde hair. None of us were blonde, so we're like, this isn't working because we need a blonde lad.
I'm pretty sure, like, I call a spade a spade. That was Louis' thing.
That literally was like,
we need a young blonde guy. Who do I know? Oh, maybe that kid who
was also, might I add, you were basically ginger when he put you in, and then you dyed your hair blonde. I don't think you were or were you blonde?
I was always blonde, yeah. No, do you know what it was? I'm always blonde. I was never ginger. Well, now I lie. I have been ginger with a couple of dodgy hair dyes.
Yes. That's probably what it was then when you first got in. I was
that's
like,
definitely what it was. Yeah, no, because like my hair is not like peroxide blonde naturally. I'm more like, well, the color it is now. It's more like I'm kind of like a sandy brown, hints of blonde in it, rolling through.
Sandy brown.
Sandy brown. You got like sell it on the box.
Yeah, of course. I'm Josh Gray. You can buy this bottle of Sandy Brown and look just like me for only €5,000. Like, do you know what I mean? Terms and conditions apply.
For
like
a subscription of $8.99 a month. Something like that. But I remember him saying to me, he was like, "We need to like bleach up your hair, like emphasize the fact you're blonde." I was like, "Yeah, okay, cool." And I don't know about anyone who's ever tried to dye their hair, but sometimes it just doesn't go well, and bleach will just turn it orange, and that's happened to me a few times.
We've all been there.
But thankfully, I don't really have to dye it that much anymore, so it's fine.
No, it looks fabulous. It looks
apart from having a shaved head at the start of quarantine, but look.
Exactly. So come here to me. So you, since Hometown has finished, did you like, what was your initial reaction? Like, you were like, right, well, I don't know what I'm going to, was a solo career always something you were like, yeah, I want to do? Like I kind of know the answer. I know the answer. I'm just saying it for the listeners out there, because obviously.
Yeah. Well, like obviously, you knew the answer. Like, I mean, there have been many a late night up in Blessing and just talking the absolute.
Exactly. For those of you that don't know, because I'm originally from Tipperary, and a lot of our like hometown gigs and stuff like that, and our like, all our appearances were Dublin based, and Josh lives in Blessington, which is only like 40 minutes or something from Dublin.
Yeah. Well, my parents lived in Blessington.
Yeah. Josh's parents lived in Blessington, and we I'd used to go up. I think I lived in Josh's house for literally like 3 months. Myself and Josh in the one room, and but yeah, no. So it was brilliant. So
that was quite funny. We'd be out just up there sometimes, and we'd be like, "Should we head out tonight?" Like, come on, we'll just get the bus into town. We get a taxi home.
The 65 bus.
65, man. I haven't get that bus in about 3 years.
Thank God. I absolutely. No offense to Dublin bus or whatever, but the 65 is the worst. Like,
the 65 is just that. Yeah, it's just that one bus out of all the Dublin buses you just don't want to be getting.
Yeah, you don't. Like, it should only take you half an hour, but somehow it takes literally 2 hours for you to get from Dublin to Blessington.
It literally takes me. Like, well, I don't live in Kildare. Technically, I live in Wicklow, but it's Kildare, if that makes sense. I'm right on the border.
You live in Kildare.
Willdare Manor, yeah. It sounds like something Bruce Wayne be living in.
Yeah.
But, it take me like 45 minutes to drive into town.
Yeah.
And that's parked and everything. But somehow that bus manages to take you an hour and 45 minutes.
It's absolutely ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. We're gonna have to beat. We're totally gonna have to beat track and run about buses now. But so solo career for Josh, where like how did you come like about that? As in, like, you were like, right. Because when you were in the band, you couldn't play guitar, but you can play now. So you just kind of learned your craft now.
Look, well, I guess when we were in the band, I was always kind of eager to learn, and like
you were,
yeah. I was, I didn't have music in school and stuff, and I was kind of still in school, so I was just kind of thrown out. And I guess I learned to go a bit from Ryan, and I learned to go a bit from, even Brendan, mostly Brendan and Ryan, and Keen play guitar as well, but then when I was younger, actually, I don't even know if I ever told you that, but I used to play keyboard and stuff. My grandmother taught me how to play keyboard.
Nice.
Then yourself, as you get older, you stop doing it. It's like anything, you just kind of forget. And now I pick it back up. I can play again. Thankfully, after many hours of nearly like punching the thing because I couldn't play it properly. But like, I always knew I wanted to release music myself, and more so like be a songwriter too.
Yeah,
I guess like my influences growing up were always like Ryan Tedder as a writer, like Justin Timberlake and Maroon 5 as artists and stuff. And then I think, like all of us, the band finished, and it was kind of, and especially for me, I was so young, I kind of felt with not having an accreditation, like leaving certain stuff like that, I was just like, all right, where's my life going now? And it was absolute panic mode for like these couple of years. Well, not even a couple of years, more so like a year and a bit, because it's very hard from doing at such a young age, was doing something you kind of thought, and I think we all did at that age, because you're quite naive at the time, is it's a forever thing, and it was going to go this way. But then politics and stuff come into play. But then I was kind of, I suppose for myself, I just went back working for a little bit, to work, get up a bit of money, decide what I was going to do. I went to college for a little bit and quickly kind of realized that it wasn't for me. I think as well, just given, kind of out doing something you already you wanted to do. Very hard to go back into a classroom environment, especially after all the things that we got to experience. And I kind of feel like I did like a lot of my growing up in that band, especially with the fact that yourself and the lads were all a lot older than I was. So then I guess I studied in BIM, which was great, get me a lot of contacts and everything like that. And studied there part-time for a year. But then with that, I just I was throwing out music, and I was having music at the ready, and I threw out my first track, which actually, some people do ask me now, it's actually not on Spotify anymore, which is
someone because I put up a thing on my Instagram, because I do with all my guests coming on, I put on, so ask these people any questions you want, and someone put that up saying We Should Run isn't on Spotify anymore, and I thought that as well, because I went looking and I saw it. I was like, that's a great song, and what's the story there?
Yeah, do you know what it was? It was kind of I suppose it was kind of like a strategic decision for myself, because actually, funny enough, I only seen it popped up on my Facebook page yesterday about a video I had done for Kellyanne RTE Pulse last year, and I actually, it was before that decision was made, and I kind of laughed when I was listening to what I said, but I guess what We Should Run, it was kind of my introduction song to I'm a solo artist or whatever, but I never really felt it was truly me musically, if that makes sense.
That means I get exactly what you're saying.
I do that. Like, that song holds a really, really special place in my heart. Like, even I've got the thing tattooed on my arm.
Very good.
But I mean, I just kind of always felt it was never an accurate representation of what I wanted to be as an artist. But I guess in this day and age, it's always kind of changing as well. But just as things were kind of moving along and production values and stuff were getting better, and then progressively, the more you kind of work on things and the more you write, the kind of better your flow gets. And I just kind of felt then I had all these kind of tracks that still haven't even come out yet, that just aren't anything like that. So someone goes on and sees Josh Gray and they see We Should Run, I kind of feel, me personally, kind of felt like they weren't getting an accurate representation of what this project is.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? Well, I mean, I think I eventually will re-release that track, maybe on an EP or something, but very differently to how it was done. You know what I mean? That was very kind of full bandy, which my life set is, but I think I've always kind of heard it as something else, and at the time it was kind of beyond my ability to bring it to there.
That's fair, because like at the same time, it was your first song. Like, you were just finding your feet and finding yourself as a solo artist, as Josh Gray, and not as Josh Gray from Hometown. Do you know what I mean? Which is people don't understand, is very hard to still get away from. Even though, like, I would still, like, people would still call me like, oh, Dale from Hometown, or like Dale from Dance with the Stars, but like, I'll still always be Dale from Hometown no matter what I do. And like, you said, like, we are proud of it, but it is hard to get away and just be Josh Gray.
Like, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Like, I mean, those, like, we done things in those couple of years that you just, you never dream of doing, really.
Exactly.
Then, especially at the age we were at. But I mean, for me, it's a great thing, as I will never, I will never talk down on it. I will never do anything else, because it was a great couple of years. But the way I also feel is, that was a chapter in my life, and now I'm on to the next chapter.
Exactly.
And not that it's frustrating in a way, but to be, identified as Dale from Hometown or Josh from Hometown at this stage of your life, it's kind of like when you're on something else, not that it's annoying, but it's just kind of, that's not just the one thing you want to be recognized for.
Exactly. Yeah.
No,
I totally understand where you come from. You'll always be proud of where you've come from, but you're trying to establish yourself as a solo artist.
Exactly.
Yeah. And with the solo artist thing, you said earlier, you're like, I don't want to just be a solo artist. I want to do like the writing and like jump and stuff like that. So like, when you do writing sessions, like how have they gone? Like, you've gone over to London, I've seen a few times to do writing sessions, and how do they go?
I'm back and forth quite frequently. Well, apart from, in the recent times. But, a nightmare. But sure, look, that's a conversation for
another day. Yeah.
I think I signed a publishing deal actually July of last year.
Very good.
So I signed with Concord in the UK and the US.
Class.
So they kind of, I guess, they came across me Spotify. They came to see me play, kind of listened to a lot of stuff I'd written, and they was really keen on the project and developing it. So they took me on. Yeah, which is great. It's opened so many doors for me, and it's really pushed things on for myself. But then I guess it's like, I've been doing a lot of writing strategically for my project, but then also strategically for pitch and for other artists and dance DJs and stuff like that. So
nice.
It'd be just kind of, you're in a room with another top liner or another producer. Basically, you've got your brief, or if it's for my project, it's kind of, I know what I want it to be anyway.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's just kind of a bit of back and forth, and like that, like, it's kind of, you know, it's as much as it's work, it's all a bit of fun.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. It's not really work, because it's just like, this is what I want to do. Do you know what I mean? Like with me, with my dancing, like I love dancing, so that to me is not work. It's just, it's great.
Yeah, well,
crack.
like, I mean, I mean, when I, you know, obviously when you open the dance school and stuff like that, was like one of my first thought processes was like, yeah, well, like he's gonna enjoy doing that. So it's not like he's going doing something. He's waking up every day and saying, thoughts of going into work. Like, I know naturally everyone, it doesn't matter sometimes, even things you love, you're going to get like that sometimes because you're tired or you're just in a bad mood. Yeah. But I mean, getting to do what you love doing and, you know, being able to make a living from it. It's class. You're already a success, you know. Class. Regardless of if you're making whatever, like it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And with the songwriting thing, and you were saying like you're doing, you know, you pitch songs for anyone. Has there been anyone that like you've pitched a song to that you've been like, geez, I can't believe I actually sent them a song, even if they don't use it, it doesn't matter. It's the fact that like, man, this go on.
Yeah. Well, sorry, but yeah, it's a bit mad because like even, you know, just there's ones that I'm kind of waiting to hear back about certain names, and they're just coming into my inbox.
Can you drop a name? No, I need no exclusive here. If you can't drop a name, that's totally fair, because you'll get in trouble.
I guess like I've been just like, you know, there's been some tracks kind of thrown out there with like the likes of Sigala, Medusa, and Harvey and stuff like that, and artists, which is great. It really is great, but it's kind of that waiting game that you know yourself, man. With music, it's always been a very much hurry up and wait kind of an industry.
Of course, but like, but still, you know, to say that you have worked on a song,
to be doing those kind of things though is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like,
then you know as well, like you're getting to work with people who have maybe like, you know, they were the producer on this track or that track, or walked around. You're just kind of saying to yourself, it's meant like, and I didn't think I'd be here at this stage already, like even still being quite young, like, you know.
That's it. You're like, you are, so you're like, what, you're 23 now, isn't it, or are you 22? 23.
Yeah, 23 now, yeah.
23, and you're still like songwriting and sending out tracks to like Sigala and Medusa. Like that's insane. Like, do you know what I mean? But like, it's absolutely incredible. But obviously, you were back and forth to London the whole time. But obviously, with COVID and things like that and lockdown, your writing sessions are now through Zoom. And I've seen you were actually doing a writing session with X Factor, and I think he's done Dancing on Ice, he's done the Jungle, he's done every show.
Jay
Quickenden, like that is class. Like
Jake's a lovely guy. He got in touch actually because a friend of mine, Bertie, producer, he was on doing a bit of work with him, and then Jake got on about doing a track. He was looking for like 2 potential singles anyway. So we just jumped on a Zoom session, and we kind of, got to chat to him. Such a lovely, lovely guy. Yeah. We ended up writing 2 tracks for him, just kind of there and then. One of them's quite cool. It's called Whiskey, which is
class.
I'm gonna look forward to that one. And we wrote the other dance song. Now I think, actually, it's quite funny. The 2 songs we wrote were Whiskey. Or no, sorry, I think it was Whiskey, and then the other song, like, I actually can't remember. Because honestly,
so many songs on your head, like.
Yeah, no, honestly, like, and I know that's such a like a kind of thing to say, but there's honestly some songs I've written there in my Logic files or Dropbox links or whatever, and they probably have 2 names as well, because they started out with something else and then they finished up with something completely different.
Yeah, of course, and that's.
I'll always remember the melody and how they go, but I'll just like struggle to remember. It's like, what was that?
What was the name? But man, that's class. Like, to say that you've worked with those people and like you're writing with them and stuff, it's just, that's insane. So man, like, well done, like, for going, like, to take that leap to be a solo artist from a band is a massive deal, and you're killing the game. You're really successful at what you're doing, so like, you should be really proud. Like, I know like everyone has their down days and stuff, but like, seriously, man, you're doing absolutely
but likewise with you, man. I think we've always, even as collectively as friends, like, as much as we were a band, like, I mean, we literally lived together, so we all kind of knew each other. We all knew our bad habits as well, like, don't get me wrong. But like, I think that's all you ever want to see, is like your friends just doing well and kind of,
that's it,
like, getting on and doing their lives, because like, you know yourself, there's people who can be quite negative about remarks of people, and like, I think don't get me wrong, I'm saying, I may be sounding a bit whatever saying this, but like, I think even as well, like, a lot of people can be quite begrudging, especially in a small country like Ireland. It's like that whole small town syndrome thing, but I think it's like, you just should be wanting everyone to be doing well. That's it. Like, that's what we're here for. Do you know what I mean? We're here
like,
for a long time.
What are you getting from being negative towards someone who's trying to pursue a good career? Like, do you know, why would you drag them down? If anything, we should all be boosting each other up and helping each other get to where we want to get. Like, do you know what I mean?
Man. But I think that's the thing. It's across the board with friends and family as well. It's like everyone should just be want the best for everyone. You know.
Exactly. It costs. My mom and dad always said to me, "It costs nothing to be nice. So just be nice. And if you've nothing nice to say nothing at all." To me, I think those are two sayings that people should use, and a lot of people do. There's just a small minority of people that would just always.
There is
always
a small
try
minority. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's fun. Like I've gotten to a stage, and I know you're the same. It's like especially in these kind of industries, you need thick skin.
Yeah,
like,
you do.
I remember one time doing a photo shoot last year, and I was actually, do you know where I was? I was actually down in Dundrum, and there's these kind of cool, quirky looking steps, and we're getting some photos done down there. Quite late at night, and there's a guy walking down. Had a bag. I presume he had a takeaway. It looked like what was just like a takeaway in a plastic bag or whatever. And I'm not gonna repeat what he said, but like just so you know, like kind of.
You
thing,
can. I know exactly.
Photo shoot, lads, is it? And then, but like. You know, I understand that's probably like some people are just kind of set in their ways, and it's an old way of thinking. But you know, as you say, if nothing nice to say, don't say it.
Exactly. People just don't get it. Like, but
I think people sometimes just be a little bit too quick to judge.
Exactly. Don't judge a book by its cover. I'm really fast learning that because I've recently started eating. I kind of try have like some vegetarian stuff or some vegan stuff recently, John. Because I kind of just trying to cut.
I remember you just literally eat nothing except for cheese sandwiches and sausages.
That's all I used to eat, and so now I actually eat vegan sausages and I eat vegan sausage rolls, and they're from Little and my friend Andy, Little and Aldi. Andy makes them for me, but they're from Little and Aldi, and you can get them in Tesco as well. The Linda McCartney ones are class, but they're Little and Aldi own brand vegan sausage rolls.
Vegan are great. There's a really nice vegan cafe that just opened up in my hometown of Blessington, and
in your hometown.
In my hometown. Yeah. But yeah, they do the nicest vegan sausage rolls ever. I don't know if you remember, but like even me, for some weird reason, I try drink milk as little as possible. And substitute to milk. Like I'll drink like soy milk, oat milk.
I remember that actually. Yes, you were. Yeah. I'm kind of I'm fairly the same. I'm kind of not drinking milk as much and stuff.
Yeah, like I'm not trying to be a nutritionist here. So if any nutritionist is listening and wants to call me out on it, by all means. But apparently that you don't get as congested.
Okay.
You know, like sinusy and kind of like fluey and coldy and stuff like in the winter months as well. But as well as that, like coconut milk with a latte, man.
Listen, this conversation just took a total twist. We're now talking about food.
It really did.
That is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But I thought you'd appreciate that. I'm not just eating sausages and cheese anymore. I'm actually venturing out and I'm eating so many more different foods.
Some Linda McCartney sausages.
Oh man, I'm telling you, Linda McCartney, if you are listening, hit me up with them sausages and them sausage rolls, please. I will wear a T-shirt sponsored by you if that's the case. But getting back to your music, I'm just looking here. Your solo songs have been absolutely amazing. I was actually listening to Spotify there last week, and I was listening to chill. I think it was like chill mellow pop playlist or something. And I seen this song came on, and I was like, I like this song. What is that? And next thing I looked at the picture, and it was you, and it was your song Imagine. And Imagine is so good, and nearly has 300,000 streams. Only came out like last month, or it wasn't even last month. It's a recent enough one, isn't it? Imagine.
It's recent enough. Yeah. I just released Be My Excuse a couple of weeks back, and then Imagine was just before that. Yeah.
Yeah, Imagine is, man, I love Imagine. Be My Excuses class as well. The music video was cool, man. I saw your little dance moves in it as well. I was like, he's stealing my moves,
I've been practicing, man.
You've been practicing. I see that. But your songs have been absolutely amazing. Like collectively, like you've released like I think 4 or 5 songs, and collectively have 1 million over 1 million streams. Like that is insane. Did you ever think, Josh Gray, like when you were like 16 getting into that band, did you ever think, right, Josh Gray, as in just Josh Gray, is going to have over 1 million streams on Spotify? Did you like?
Nah, man, absolutely no. It never sprung to mind. Like I actually remember, so the day I released "Cut Loose," which would have been essentially what I would like to call it my second technically my second single. But as we were saying earlier in that conversation, it's kind of my first single for me.
Yeah.
But I remember, man, seeing that it came out on New Music Friday on Spotify.
Yes, yeah.
And my head just went boom, because like I had at the time, like, I had no clue even.
Yeah.
I didn't really understand what that was too much at the time, really, to be honest. And then it's just kind of, then my managers were only managing me then for like a couple of weeks at that stage, and they were kind of like, this is like, this doesn't happen like often, especially for independent artists and stuff. And yeah, it was just mental, and everything just kind of start quickly moving from there, which was just insane.
Yeah.
So I didn't think like it's great that it was. I just didn't think it would move that quickly.
Yeah, it's it's Cut Loose's class as well. Like Cut Loose has nearly 800,000 streams itself. Like that is insane.
Yeah.
Like Cut Loose is an absolute tune. Like it's such a banger. Like man, it's so good. But like fair play. Like the songs have been absolutely insane, and I'm sure there's plenty more to come. But like you said, Be My Excuse has been your latest single. How is that going for you? Is it going good or?
Really well. Yeah, streams and stuff are flying. Playlisting's been great. It's been getting cool feedback about things at the moment, and there's been a lot of back and forth with a kind of few things that I suppose I'm not really. Probably shouldn't say too much about yet, but like it's really nice. It's like it's kind of it's a pinch yourself kind of a moment, and I think especially in these times because. Like with everyone, it's so hard to take your head out of the gutter. Like even I find, I'm like literally writing every day, sitting here every day on a Zoom or it's by myself. And I think then it's like you overwork yourself and you get a little bit overtired. And like everyone knows kind of like those, you can get like that sometimes. And those kind of things are really like picking up kind of moment. And they're kind of like, it's kind of like when when you're kind of, the only way I can describe it is like, you've got like a hammer and a chisel and you're kind of digging out a tunnel and you turn around, you see how far you've come with it.
Exactly.
It's kind of like that analogy, but yeah, it's been mad. It's great. I'm honestly delighted. I couldn't be happier.
That's deep, man. I like that. I like that analogy. Like that's very good. Do you know what I mean?
It's a song you have to be in touch with all your feelings.
In touch with your feelings and your inner self, But you're absolutely crazy.
You're probably looking at me going, hey, Jesus, when did this lad turn into
what happened here? Like, where's young Josh? Like, but no, the big question, this is the main question, and I hope I don't mess this question up, is I wanted to ask since we started. How is Tilly? Bro.
No, I was going to send you a picture of her the other day, actually.
Bro.
I don't know. Every time, and I probably haven't spoke, so we have this thing called The Voice, and for life you never use it anywhere else. And it's just as soon as Dale gets on the phone, it's like, hello, how are you?
For those listening, we have this thing called The Voice, and we talk like really silly to each other and stuff. Anytime I ring Brendan or I ring you or I ring it's straight away. It's you say it straight away. But for those of you actually also wondering, Tilly is Josh's dog. In case everyone's like, who's Tilly? What's going on? Tilly, and we used to call her Motilum. Motilium. Motilium. Like I don't know where that even came from, but the dog is just an absolute mad thing. But
she still does this thing as well.
Still does the thing with her paws where she just flaps her paws up and down.
And now she's got a little brother called Ted who's half Shih Tzu, half Bichon.
Oh, you saw that? He's like brown or something, isn't he? I thought I saw
he's
that.
basically he's like a slightly taller, brown, shaggier version of Tilly.
So you have two Tillys running around the gaff. Tilly and
basically
Ted.
Tilly and Ted. Ted's more of a snapper. Tilly, but she's gone pretty not that she's old because she's only 5, but she's gone quite old in her ways, if you know what I mean.
She's more relaxed. She's like, I'm sick. But it's probably because the younger dog is here, so she's like, oh, here, he can take my role now. I'm just gonna stroll around the place and let Ted go absolutely bonkers off the wall, like.
Yeah, it's annoying obviously now because she doesn't live with me, but I mean.
Yeah, I'll have to come up to Pleasanton and steal her.
Oh man, we will. We'll have to.
Amazing. Right, so as some of you have seen, well, if you haven't, go check us out on Instagram, at the Dailydose Podcast on Instagram. We put up there that Josh was coming on the podcast and you were to send in your questions. So if you had any question you want to ask Josh, you could ask him absolutely anything and I will crucify him. There is no problem. So I'm joking. The questions, I mean, I had a flood of questions coming in. It was absolutely insane. So I could only pick a few because we'd be here for about 5 days if we were talking about all the questions. So I'm going to ask these questions now. So some of the questions are, so this was a really good question. Someone said, did you feel like giving up when Hometown ended? So when Hometown ended, what was your thought process?
That's a really good question.
It's a good question, isn't it? So I threw it at you. I was like, yeah, I want to throw it at him.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, like as you say, I was 19 when everything finished up, and I had no way just going to college. I had no leaving cert. I had no whatever. But then also as well, I think the knock that I kind of got myself, and I know we all got it. I guess maybe we all kind of took it at different different ways because we're all at different kind of points in our life. I kind of felt like that in that moment in time that my like, I'm stupidly thinking that now, but like my life was over, and that was it. That was the only chance I'd ever have at music. And I think it's very, it might seem a bit dramatic to say, but until you're in that, and when you are that young, and you know, like a music industry, it promises you a lot of things, and when you're gullible, naive about it, and everything's said to you for the first time, you take it as gospel, you know. But yeah, I think because like it took me a kind of while to build up a bit of self-confidence with the solo project and stuff, because you know, you're gone from, you know, constantly being around 5 other people, and as well as that being the youngest of 5 people. I think not to say I was, but I guess it's just always that kind of thing, is like when you're the youngest in a group of older people, you kind of feel a little bit, how do I say, for lack of a better word, not inferior, but more kind of like, you know, they know better.
Exactly. Yeah. Because you're only young. What do you know? Kind of job.
Yeah. Exactly, that kind of a thing. And but yeah, so I kind of struggled with that for a little while. I think it was like for the first year, so definitely, because you know, I went back working for a little time. I even went working in retail, and I was just like, you know, it was just kind of, you know, like, you know, grateful for the job and stuff like that. But I was just kind of like, you know, this just wasn't what I was wanting to be doing. And
of course.
Yeah, it kind of. But then at the same time, like, music did feel like it was a distant thing, like an opportunity like the one that we had to come up again in order to do it. But then I kind of just had this kind of quick thing of like, you know, I'm just going to go for it and see what happens, and I'm just going to push through. And yeah, it's going to be tough to do it, but the more I did it and kind of not rewarded, but the more good things started happening, and I was just kind of like, I can do this. And
it's worth it.
Guess with radio play and like with people getting back to me in streams and stuff, it kind of did build up my confidence with that. And you know, you start to kind of get recognized for yourself. So that was a long answer to a short question. But
That's it. And actually, I just want to talk quickly there about radio play. You were constantly listed as Today FM's track of the week and stuff. Like, how does that make you feel? Like that Today FM are very supportive of you and your career and your songs, and they really fully believe in you.
So, oh man, it's absolutely amazing. Like every time, like, genuinely, like it didn't make a difference from the first to like the 4th time it happened. I was just like, what, really?
Yeah.
Like, it was absolutely mental, and it's great, you know, like even everybody in Today FM, especially Ferg and Dave, Dermot and stuff, are, you know, they're forever singing my praise, which is great.
But brilliant.
I remember even like the first time I had, like, actually the time We Should Run playing in my car, because like I found out Dave texted me, he's like, hey Josh, just to let you know, after picking your song as Homegrown Hero, it's going to be played at such and such a time. And I was just like, I was in my car and I was like, yeah.
It's amazing. It's absolutely brilliant, man. You should be so proud of yourself. Well done. Honestly, it's class. So favorite song you released? Go.
Be My actually, I don't know. Like, maybe Be My Excuse in terms of pop, but then on personal side, maybe Imagine. Yeah, that's another question, is what was the most emotionally challenging song you've ever written? And I'm guessing it was Imagine. Yeah, and then there's another couple I have written as well. There's Imagine, and there's Just Lie, and then there's another song called Truth.
Okay.
Those two aren't released. I don't know if I will release them, but they're quite personal songs. But yeah, Imagine was hard to write, but for some reason just kind of quickly came out of me in the space of like half an hour.
Class.
Which was just kind of just heard the piano, and I was like,
but if you actually listen to Josh's song Imagine on Spotify, you can hear the emotion and the passion, and just you really can connect to it on so many levels. And that's what I love about you, like your songwriting and your the way you release songs, is they're all relatable. Like, so you can relate to it in a million different ways, no matter what it is. And I think that's absolutely incredible in your songwriting. Like,
yeah, I think that's like, I've always tried to keep, like, even though they're personal things, I've always tried to kind of keep them a little bit more open.
Yeah.
You know, for people to kind of interpret in their own ways, because like myself and yourself might have a similar experience with something, but at the same time, there's elements that are going to be quite different. So if I'm just labeling out exactly my story, it's not going to be really that relatable to your story.
Exactly. But no,
you know what I mean?
Class. So someone else asked, what's the best gig you've ever done?
What's the best gig I've ever done? I don't know, because like there's obviously there's a few that we've done. There's some crazy ones that we've done.
Okay, I'll rephrase the question. So, what's the best gig you've ever done as a solo artist?
As a solo artist, probably the Coca-Cola gig supporting Rita Ora with the full band, because that was great.
Yeah.
And then side to that, maybe where else was it? Maybe you know, the headlining playing, well, not headline, but playing main stage on the Kaleidoscope, which was my home
Class.
as well.
Yeah.
Probably those two gigs. And then to answer with us, maybe it's definitely between maybe our first Vicar Street gig, because we sold that out and it was packed.
Yeah.
Or maybe where is that venue? I don't know. Well, there's been a few with that. Like,
there's been, man, that we've played we've probably played every venue, I'd say, at this stage. Like, absolutely insane.
We've played every venue in the UK and Ireland easily enough, which is crazy to say, isn't it?
I know. It's mad. Like, we've done so many great things, and it's absolutely incredible. And
you got to play 2 nights in the O2.
Do you know what I mean? Like, who else can say that? Exactly. Do you know what I mean? And the 3 Arena. And
man, you know, it was a really like pinched me moment in time, and like I remember none of the guys really knew too much of him at the time. We did a gig in.
I know exactly what you're going to say. Go on.
And I'm walking, and so I'll tell this story, lads. So we're doing like this awards, kind of radio awards, wasn't it? It was a radio award thing. And,
is this the one in Scotland?
Yeah, and we walked off stage, and literally, it's been a long day, and I was like, it's Charlie Puth.
Yeah, I remember that.
I absolutely freaked out, because I like love Charlie Puth, and I was just like, couldn't fathom that it was Charlie Puth. Like, and we've met a lot of people, but like for me, I was like, oh, what? And I was like, who's Charlie Puth? Like,
exactly. This was the time. This was the time when the Fast and Furious thing had just came out, and this song had just been released. It was only released about a week or two, and like, you'd been following Charlie Puth, and the rest of us hadn't really.
Yeah, and like what we were saying, when songs hit you, I think around that time, you know, I had lost a good family friend, so that song really, really connected with me.
Yeah, so I remember we did that gig with Charlie Puth, and now look at Charlie Puth, like, absolutely insane. And another memory for me is when we were in the same hotel as 5 Seconds of Summer, and we were like, oh, we'll all go down to the bar and we'll have a few drinks and we'll wait for the lads, like. And then I was like, I don't think I even had a drink, and I was like, lads, I'm going to bed. We were there about an hour. I was like, I'm going to bed. Went up to bed, stripped down, got into bed, and next thing, 2 seconds later, all you bust in the door. We're like, oh, we're going to the pub with 5 Seconds of Summer. We're all like, lads, get out, like, not a hope. And next thing, you showed me the picture of ye and Ashton, and I was raging, because I literally just left 5 minutes beforehand. Absolutely raging.
It's funny though, right? Because as I say, like, I'm over in London quite frequently, and I would be in Shepherd's Bush a good bit. Like, I've drank in that pub a good few times since.
That's crazy.
And it's just like every time I go over, it's like, I remember that time actually.
That time with us, 5 Seconds of Summer, Rixton, and what was the girl band that was called? What were they? There was like 3 of them.
Girl band.
Remember, because one of them was going out with the Rixton lads. I can never remember their name. It wasn't. She wasn't Little Mix.
It was because the guy, because Little Mix weren't as big at the time. Because you have to remember, it was only 2015.
Bro, Little Mix were huge then, man. Come on.
Oh well, actually, sorry. Yeah,
it wasn't Little Mix.
No, he was. He was. It was.
He wasn't, because there was 3 of them, and there was.
I was nearly sure he was with Jade.
No, he wasn't, man. I'd remember that. I'd 100% remember that now. If it was Little Mix, if we were drinking in a pub with 5 Seconds of Summer, Rixton, and
there.
Little Mix.
No,
they were. But this
we have our stories. We have our stories crossed, because one of the guys in Rixton was with Jade from Little Mix. So that's
there you go. There. Oh, well, I hope everyone knows that. We're after just dropping the bomb there. It was all a big secret, like, imagine. Oh no. I was gonna get to a few more questions. Oh yeah, there's some really random questions after coming in here as well. Someone says, are you PJs all day, or do you actually dress up during lockdown?
That's a fair question.
Yeah.
Well, presume I could be dressed from the waist up. Yeah. But to be honest, at the start I was like tracksuits and cozies all the time, and I just kind of got absolutely fed up, because just like, you know what? Like the other day, I wasn't even going. I went down to Dundrum, like just for a look. I literally got in the shower. I wore my fanciest shirt. I wore Chelsea boots.
Of course you did.
I wasn't even going anywhere. Just to feel like I was going somewhere.
Just to feel like you were going somewhere.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Next question. Last question is, okay, this is so strange. Would you rather drink orange juice thinking it's milk, or milk thinking it's orange juice? First of all, that whole thing sounds disgusting. First of all.
Plus, we were just talking about milk there earlier.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean? So drinking orange juice thinking it's milk, or milk thinking it's orange juice. I think I'd go the milk thinking it's orange juice, because that's not as bad.
It's not going to be as unsettling in my head.
Yeah, because you know it's milk and you like the taste of orange
Well, they never
juice.
said what kind of milk it is, so.
Oh, here we go. Soya milk, vegan milk. Jesus.
Yeah, no, I'd definitely go with the milk thing.
That is just that. When that question came in, that was crazy. And just another one. Just going to ask. Someone asked, will you be releasing an album, or when can we expect new music? I know you just released "Be My Excuse."
Yeah, quite soon again. But I mean, I think for now it's going to be quite like single driven. Which just, I guess at the moment it just makes sense to kind of keep throwing out them singles. I can't wait till that day comes when I get to do an album, which hopefully is in the near future. But there'll be a couple of singles soon. If not an album, maybe an EP.
Exactly, class.
There's a lot of songs there, but I just kind of have to spend a while kind of perfecting them a little bit and deciding which ones I want to do. And I'll send you over some for.
Do I get the first listen all the time. Listen, Josh, where can people find you online? Where if I'm listening to this podcast right now and I hear about Josh Gray and I go, I want to see, can he actually drink a pint of milk? Where do I find Josh online?
Right, yeah, if anyone follows me from this, come over and say they want to see me drink a pint of milk, I'll happily do it.
You go.
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram as Josh Gray X at the end, because Josh Gray was taken.
Oh, nice.
So I'm trying to find that, and then likewise, Josh Gray was taken. And then funny thing is, there's zero followers on it. I think that person just probably did it.
Did it just to annoy you?
I did the same. It's Josh_Gray on Twitter, and then I went over and I've seen someone who's just at Josh Gray. I was like, no followers on it. I signed in, and he's like, hey man, he's like, I see. You're probably looking for this username, right? And I was like, oh yeah, cool. He's like, yeah. He's like, if you want it, I'm happy to settle for €1,000 for the username. And I was like, nah, you can keep your €1,000, man.
Yeah, I swear that wasn't me.
Well, yeah, you can check me on Twitter and Instagram there.
And then you can obviously find Josh on Spotify. If you just type in Josh Gray, you'll see all his absolutely amazing songs. Listen, Josh, you're one of my close friends, and I really appreciate you coming on and supporting the podcast. And I hope you guys. No, bro, anytime. Hope you guys enjoyed listening to it. And Josh, thank you so much. And hopefully down the line we will have you on. And I'm sure we're going to see you all over radio, all over TV in the near future when lockdown, when everything goes back to normal. So again, thank you so much, Josh, for coming on. You're an absolute legend.
Thanks, my dude. Chat to you soon.
Josh Gray, what an absolute man. To be honest, that was probably one of the funnest ones I've done so far. Josh, thank you so much, man. If you're listening, you better be listening, because this podcast is solely based about you. Thank you so much, Josh, for coming on. It was an absolute pleasure talking to you. I hope you guys liked listening to our conversation and having the crack, and I hope it was helpful. Might have been helpful to some people out there, or you never know. Again, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Dailydose Podcast. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook. We are pushing for that 500 followers across all social media platforms. I want to get there within the next 2 months. I'm calling it now. 2 months. I think that's doable, I think. Again, thank you all so much for tuning into today's podcast. Please join us again next week for another Dailydose Podcast. Until then, see ya.